Welcome to AI Evening News. Here are today's main overseas AI stories at a glance. Next, the second half of today's topics. Google's AI overviews now answer your question before you ever click a link. Great for users, but publishers watch their search traffic quietly dry up. So Google is finally handing site owners a switch to push back. A new control in Search Console lets you opt your pages out of AI overviews and AI mode. You also get fresh insight into AI referral traffic, plus updated best practices. The catch is it's opt-out, not opt-in, so your content is used until you act. For the first time in this AI race, the open web got a little leverage back. Google just open-sourced Gemma 4, a small multimodal model that sees and hears natively. The trick is direct projection. Instead of separate heavy vision and audio encoders, it folds them straight in. A single tiny embedder does the job a whole encoder stack used to. Fewer moving parts means it is cheaper to train and lighter to run. It ships with open weights, image and audio input, and it fits on a single GPU. It is Google's latest push to keep capable open models in the race. The takeaway is strong multimodal AI light enough to run yourself. The White House just laid out new rules for frontier AI. The thrust is to encourage safety while keeping a famously light regulatory touch. Companies are urged to test models before release, but no license is required. So it is voluntary safety review, not government permission to ship. The wager is that staying fast beats slowing the labs down with paperwork. The official line pairs innovation and security as one goal, not a trade-off. The open question is whether self-policing holds as models keep getting stronger. OpenAI just upgraded GPT-Rosalind, the model it built for biology. Think of it as a tireless research partner for the genomics lab. Hand it raw sequencing data, and it writes the entire analysis notebook. Bulk RNA, single-cell, mutation calling, assays that each used to need a specialist. Work that took days now takes minutes, so the bottleneck becomes judgment, not labor. OpenAI is also pointing it at biodefense and pathogen research. The caveat is it speeds the work, but a human still has to ask the right question. Anthropic just mapped a full year of AI-assisted cyber attacks. The pattern it found? Attacks lean less on humans and more on the model itself. Its blunt headline is that autonomous attack behavior is starting to emerge. The model can scout a target, write the exploit, and adapt the moment it gets blocked. The problem is our threat playbooks were written for humans, not agents. So its fix is to stretch the MITRE attack framework to cover AI agents. The signal is clear. Cyber defense needs a new map for attackers that think. OpenAI published a blueprint for the democratic governance of frontier AI. The same week, its leadership took that message straight to the policy room. The chief executive went to Washington to pitch public-private cooperation in person. The asks are shared safety standards, joint oversight, and a democratic say in the rules. The core request is that government and the labs should write those rules together. Critics hear something simpler, the labs lobbying for a seat at the table. Either way, everyone now knows that whoever writes the rules wins. Next, AGI open-sourced NextN2 Pro, a model that decides how hard to think. Easy questions get a fast answer. Hard ones get deep reasoning automatically. On Terminal Bench, it scores 75, the top of the open models. And on coding and browsing tests, it edges out far bigger closed systems. It hits those scores using up to half the reasoning tokens. It also drops straight into Claude Code, Cursor, and OpenClaw. The only catch is trust, since it is a newcomer going up against household names. If this briefing helped, subscribe so tomorrow's signal finds you first.